Santa Cruz, and welcome to this spring edition of Banana Slug News. I'm Angelica Quaylar.
And I'm Michael Santer. Now, to our top story. A specter is haunting the UCs, the specter of hungriness. A group of UC students has resorted to an extreme tactic to end the UC's ties to nuclear weapons. Kane Lynch has the story.
The United States is the proud owner of thousands of nuclear weapons, all developed in two laboratories, one in Los Alamos, New Mexico, and one in Livermore, California. From their creation, both labs were managed by the University of California, first alone, and now in cooperation with the multinational corporation Bechtel. UC President Dean says that, quote, "I'd rather be on the inside, having a voice, playing a role in the decision-making, and bringing the values of good science to the institution, and that without good science, we will not have national security." But as the labs continue to create new nukes, some students believe enough is enough. Some students are hungry for change.
Here in the Baytree Plaza, a group of student activists are gathered as part of a radical new strategy to attempt to end the UC's control of the labs. That strategy? Not eating food.
I'm here today because today is day 8 of the UC-wide hunger strike.
The UC, they don't really do any on-the-ground management. They're just sort of there as a cover, to give these labs an air of legitimacy.
We feel this is antithetical to the UC's mission. We want to withdraw our seal of approval from this business of nuclear weapons design and production.
This is kind of the conclusion of a really long period of people trying to work with the Regents to end UC management, people going to Regents meetings, people being shut down, and this is a point where the student voice has come to using the health of students to get the Regents' attention.
There was a few days that that were pretty easy, but about the 5th day I started completely losing energy and not being able to get out of bed.
I really want to eat also. I mean, I'll tell you, we were talking about it last night. It's dude, some garlic, spinach, green onions.
It's been kind of hard. I've been pretty tired, but since the cause is something I believe in, it makes it worth it.
Olive oil and mushrooms, anything. You think about food and it's just man, that really is part of people's lives.
For me personally, hunger striking is a way to connect physically with what I'm feeling emotionally and what I know mentally. It's a way for me to experience how I as a student fit in to this university and in with a larger system that causes very real devastation for entire groups of people all over the world.
The Regents meeting is tomorrow morning, so we're really hoping strongly that they'll agree to our resolution and sever ties with the weapons labs.
The next day, the protesters traveled to the Regents meeting in San Francisco. UC Rep Chris Harrington told Banana Slug News that the administration respected their right to protest, but objected to their tactics, saying, quote, "A hunger strike is not a healthy way to approach this debate." According to Mark Valen, Chairman Richard Blum suggested that the labs were necessary to, quote, "prevent Al-Qaeda from getting the bomb," to which one protester responded, "You are worse than 1,000 Al-Qaedas." However, Regent Norman Patisse told protesters, "Your concerns are real. We all live on this planet together." As the protesters continued to disrupt the meeting, the police were called. Most of the group moved to outside the building, but 13 chose to stay and be arrested. Valen said most of the group ended their strike after the meeting because, quote, "Our energies are needed elsewhere," but that they considered the action a success, attracting attention to the cause, that the struggle against the labs will continue.
And that, my friends, is how the story ends. This is Kane Lynch. Back to you in the studio.
Every Wednesday night, Cal College hosts musical performances in its Fireside Lounge. And for one such night, BSN was on the scene.
This is Alex Lyon reporting from the Cal Fireside Lounge at UC Santa Cruz, where something amazing is about to happen. On the evening of May 9th at the Cal Fireside Lounge, 3 musical acts assembled to showcase their aural wizardry. Hosted by Cal senior and KZSC disc jockey Cassandra Marquedos, the intimate forum offered UCSC students a free glimpse into the regional underground music scene. The first group to perform was Beat Beat Whisper, a local indie folk duo. How are you guys typically received? I mean, do people go nuts for you sometimes, or do people just kind of sit back and watch, or what is the...
Some people go outside.
Some people leave.
Some people stay.
Yeah.
Some people whistle.
And also, someone sneezed at one of our songs.
Wherever we go, we bring our music with us, both in our voices and in CD form, and they're also online at beatbeatwhisper.com.
As the lights dimmed, indie rock group The Dodos took the stage. The band's tribal rhythms and intense melodic compositions provided welcome contrast to the more folk-driven lineup.
This is our second show on a college campus. It's cool. We usually play in clubs or people's houses. This is my first time in Santa Cruz. This is our first time on the campus. We've played here a couple times. Logan, who's in the band, he's sitting over there. he's from Santa Cruz.
Headlining the evening was soloist Alila Diane. Armed with nothing but a guitar and face-melting pipes, Alila wooed the crowd with songs of love and longing.
I think that this is a great like small room, and it has an intimate feel, and I like that. It's nice when there's a small room and it's full of people as opposed to a giant cavernous space with the same amount of people. It doesn't feel as comfortable. I'm working with a small label out of Portland, Oregon, which is where I'm living right now. And it's called Holocene Music. On the internet, I can be found at aliladiane.com or myspace.com/AlilaMusic.
How exactly did you get invited to this show?
I think that Cassie invited me here, and she organized the show, and I think she stumbled upon my record somehow and just decided to track me down and send me here, so here I am.
We are here with Cassie Marcados, the woman behind what you just saw. How did you plan this show? How did you go about it? How did you start?
I was talking to somebody at KZSC, which is the radio station that I work at, and asking why there was no more good live music on campus anymore. And he said because there's no one around to book it, which seemed like a pretty sorry reason. So I just started doing it. It was easy to convince them to come because lots of people want to come to Santa Cruz and play music, but it was really a long process to convince the university that it could happen. It was a lot of going to meetings and convincing people, getting money, and then petitioning for an increased budget, and then making reservations, and on and on and on and on. There's a lot of legwork for that. I thought it was really good. It's a good vibe when there's like this amount of people here. I would love to book more shows like this because it's been like the most rewarding experience of my college career thus far. But hopefully somebody else will take the reins and start doing this. Like, you kind of have to do everything yourself. You have to know what you want and just do it. But I'm hoping that somebody else who came to these shows maybe and is going to be here longer will be like, I want to do this, and start doing it in my stead once I leave. It's like first date anxiety. I was so nervous of coming to like this show and the other ones. Like, I was afraid nobody would show up, or that it would go badly, or that the bands would be unhappy with the venue because it's not that impressive. It's just a lot of legwork. It's just a lot of having to do everything yourself, literally every single thing.
This is Alex Lyon, reporting live from the Cal Fireside Lounge. Back to you in the studio.